Hello Pisces, welcome to your reading for August 24th through to the 30th. As always, it is going to be a general reading, so if something doesn't resonate, just leave it for someone else. Let's welcome in now the Archangels, Ascendant Masters, light beings, star beings, and of course our higher selves, and any spirit, animal, ancestral or dragon guides that you feel resonant with, Pisces. They would like to be present for this reading. King of Cups to start. Nice energy, which is actually your energy. Nine of Wands. King of Swords and the Knight of Pentacles. There's something here, I think, Pisces, that you've been putting a lot of effort into. And maybe this is a lot of effort. Excuse me. You've been putting in a fair bit of energy to be able to maintain this, which is, I guess, holding your center despite a lot of other things going on around you, which could, like maybe these are the other things going on around you. You know, it could be other people doing things. Maybe their energies around you. External events, external situations and scenarios, but you are maintaining your composure here, maintaining your spiritual connection, your spiritual center. But I feel like you're probably getting a bit weary with this for some reason. So yeah, let's see how the reading unfolds. King of Swords and the Knight of Pentacles. So I think this is sort of very similar energy in that you have this patient, slow-moving energy, Knight of Pentacles, and there's also this King of Swords. There's some decisions and some information that you're needing to go through, and things that you're looking at. I guess you're analysing, maybe you're thinking about, you could be communicating about something here. And I think it's something that you're wanting to sort of take charge of here, but it's, I think you are even aware that things are going to move. They're not going to move as quickly as you would like, but I feel like you're aware of that and that you are prepared for things to have a slow, steady pace about them. With the readings lately, I've been doing a couple of layers, so we'll do like a bit of a reading, the first level reading, and then we'll pause and see if I've missed anything, okay? Queen of Swords and Strength. Yeah, I get this feeling that you're having to apply some self-discipline at this time, you know, possibly restraint, and given you know, the Knight of Wands and Strength is, and patience here with the Knight of Pentacles. It's like there's some hard stuff that you're working through here, Pisces, but you have the ability to pull this off, okay, with that Strength card. The Queen of Swords is also a nice blend for you of, you know, underlying is that you have the intellect to handle this situation. You also have the compassion and the heart space to make, I guess, to make good judgments on things, to be discerning, to have a nice balance of emotion and logic when it comes to organising things, making decisions, but also with regard to yourself, with regard to your own self-discipline and your own self-care, okay? You know when you need to work hard, and then you also know when you need to pull back and to take it easy. General direction moving forward is the Chariot and the Seven of Cups. So, you know, whilst you're preparing to move forward, I think there could potentially be things that present to you that are going to maybe throw you off, or to just that are sort of kind of like distractions. And they could be, you know, it could be maybe that you have multiple interests or talents in different areas, and this is you know, to do with your creativity, intuition, spirituality. So the Chariot is usually very focused and preparing to move in a direction, okay? This is sort of the opposite, Seven of Cups, where it's sort of like, yeah, like getting a little fixated on all of the other options that are open to you whilst you are trying to move forward, okay, with something. So there's that kind of interesting energy there. But your King of Swords is something that you've been wanting to work through, I think. Two kings at the start of your reading and a queen. You're feeling, you know, fairly confident and in control of this situation, whatever it is for you, Pisces. The Four of Cups, the Call, or the Awakening, or Judgment, same energy. Excuse me. Five of Wands and Six of Pentacles. So there's something here that, you know, this could potentially be, you know, some sort of distraction, that an emotional distraction that's sort of causing you to, I guess, move into like the lower vibe emotional states. So maybe this is like some disappointment, some despondency, but there's this other cup on offer here, okay? And that this is sort of in the position of your outcome. It's like, I think if you can take up this cup, whatever that means for you, it's probably in the realm of spiritual, creative, intuitive, emotional, you know, artistic, creative, that type of thing. If you can take that cup up, it's going to, maybe it could be more important than you think. I feel like there's something attached, something about this cup that is to do with a soul calling or something that's important for you here, Pisces. Yeah, Five of Wands and the Six of Pentacles. Yeah, there may be some, you know, there may be some challenges or some competition that's going to present itself to you. But sometimes we can either allow this Five of Wands to overwhelm and to drag us down, or we can take learning from it. And I feel, Pisces, that you're going to be learning from a situation, maybe learning from others, maybe even studying something that's helpful for you, that's going to allow you to move into the Six of Pentacles. So equal energy in from you equals perhaps a fair compensation back. So maybe you're going to get some income from something that you do. Or it could be that you're putting time, energy, and attention into something, and it's going to give you energetically that lift, or that an equal energy exchange, okay, as well. But initially there might be some, you know, challenges, or maybe some obstacles you need to overcome, but certainly maybe something that you are needing to learn from an experience or from something, okay. The Chariot also talks about personal growth and development. So I think you might be in the growth stages of something here, Pisces, and that Five of Wands is also part of that growth process. And perhaps the Four of Cups too. It could be that, you know, maybe there's a path that you've been on for a while and you kind of lose motivation with it, or you've kind of become a bit bored with it, or you are thinking, oh, it's not going to work, or what have you. But the balance will come there with that Six of Pentacles, okay? In the end, in the monetary sense or in the energy sense, you will get a fair exchange for your efforts, okay? Spirit guidance, we have the Two of Cups, Nine of Pentacles, which is another really success-oriented card, a really nice work-life balance, a nice progression on from that Six of Pentacles, okay? So Six of Pentacles is that even exchange. Sometimes the Nine, I think, is a little bit more like, okay, the effort that you've put in, you're now getting more back from it than you were originally, okay? And you also have the Nine of Cups, which is emotional fulfillment, which is definitely this is a potential. Two nines here, really nice. Nine of Cups, emotional. Two of Cups, I think here is talking about this, the connection that you have with yourself here, Pisces. It could be the way that you are connecting with the world, or the way you are connecting with a certain experience, or the way that you are connecting with a hobby or an interest that you have. And I feel like Spirit's saying that you need to become more intimate, more involved in this thing. And I think this is the thing here, this upright cup here that's on offer, that you may be aware that it's there, but you haven't actually taken up that cup yet, okay? And part of this could be because there are options, Pisces. There's always options, right? So, it's interesting that here you are sitting here holding this cup. And I get the feeling that this is a cup that you have taken up, which is, to do with holding space for others. Okay, we said that you were in your center, other stuff going on around, but the kings are the space holders. So if you've been holding space spiritually, creatively, intuitively, for other people, even holding space emotionally, I get this feeling now that from this reading, it's sort of saying that this is becoming a bit of a burden here. Even though you're good at what you do in that regard, it's sort of like there's something else that you are being called towards. It could be that you're being called towards creating a more defined, better balance in terms of if one of these cups represents your ability to hold space for others, one of these cups represents the calling cup, we'll call it, of your soul calling that you feel that you need to, there might be something there that you need to do to refill your cup creatively, emotionally, okay? And then maybe the remaining five cups here are other distractions. Maybe one or two of them could be other potentials. But I feel like this is kind of what's in the mix here. There's options open to you, but you're going through a decision-making process and a preparatory process. And along with that, you are cultivating your self-discipline. This is underlying kind of force energy here. You're cultivating your self-discipline, the structure that you need. And overcoming obstacles again, overcoming your inner obstacles, your inner resistance to this thing. You're also making decisions. You're being compassionate and decisive and analytical, but also activating your emotions and your intuition. This is a nice blend of masculine and feminine as well, exercising your intellect here, but also being grounded, connected to nature, taking things slowly. The feminine energy is generally a slow-moving, receptive energy, whereas the masculine is generally a bit quicker, a quicker moving energy, and generally more projective or space holding, but kind of dealing with the external world a little more. And I feel like you're able to do both of these things, Pisces. I think there's a choice point around some of these these cups here, but Spirit calling you to really involve yourself more intimately with something in your life that you feel could be a calling, and it's going to be beneficial for your work-life balance here. Beautiful Nine of Cups. It's going to help you to feel, you know, content, happy, like you've got all your bases covered. You'll have energy and time for yourself and energy and time for whatever it is that you're doing. You'll also have this Nine of Cups here, which is the emotional fulfillment. Okay, so happiness, contentment, joy, and probably having, you know, the time that you need to spend time with family, friends, you know, your relationships, your connections as well. Let's grab a Light Seers card as well here for you. There's something about preparation and choice for you Pisces. I feel like you're already really good at something, you know, here. Eight of Cups, yeah. Look at that. Absolutely bang on. There's something about this King of Cups energy that I think you're going to be moving slowly away from, and it could be this idea of holding space for others. If you were like a therapist of sorts, you know, or maybe you've been looking after a lot of people or doing things like that, you're going to be moving more into, you know, maybe you still do a little bit of that, but you're going to be like moving into your soul. What defines you as a galactic human? You know, what defines you as a high frequency soul light energy? What is it that you love to do? What is it that lights you up and makes you feel alive? I think we'll continue. I'm not sure if I've missed anything there or not. I think we've been fairly thorough. Let's continue. You know what? I'm going to pause. Sorry, indecisiveness. Hold on a minute. Okay, Pisces, had another look at these cards, and I feel like we're going to bring out some things that just come to my attention, okay? This King of Cups here, it's interesting that there are, like, there's a dolphin and a tortoise or sort of some animal statues here around his feet, okay? But they are stone, okay? Now, dolphins are typically a playful energy. So in terms of animal spirit guides, we're going to pull out animal spirit guides from this reading for some reason for you, Pisces. And it's interesting that often if we are the space holders or the responsible ones, okay, Pisces, that sometimes it's not that we're resistant to activating our own playful inner child aspect, but it can be that just other things take over, okay, Pisces. So I feel like this is sort of moving into, maybe you're going to be doing some inner child exploration. But dolphin, whale consciousness, that beautiful, playful, soft, feminine energy could be a nice animal spirit guide energy for you to tap into, okay, at this time. I also was really drawn to this owl here. So animal spirit guides like owls, you know, the higher consciousness animals on this planet are the birds, right? So we have owls here. I think these are doves in the Queen of Swords as well, okay? And it's interesting that one of these cups here, you have little white birds flying around one of these cups. So it's sort of like looking at your higher consciousness aspect here, Pisces, and are you allowing yourself time to move into higher consciousness? But also there again, if there's a particular bird that you resonate with, you know, calling on that bird as like an animal spirit guide for you at this time could be helpful. We also have a lot of cats and lions here. We have the Strength card with a lion. We have lots of cats here. Obviously, the Everyday Witch Tarot has lots of cats in it. But that wasn't my intention to choose that deck because there were cats in it, okay? It's just happened that way. And we also have this Egyptian thing here. So the reason I'm pulling all of that out is that the feline beings, the Lyran Syrian beings of Sirius could also be of assistance to you at this time, Pisces. So that might be a galactic collective that you'd like to call on. You also have here, this is a rose, so perhaps the sisterhood of the rose in terms of your spirit guides, okay, could be helpful. There's also a dragon image up here in one of these cups, so perhaps dragon energy could definitely be, and you do have fire here, the Nine of Wands, and the Five of Wands. So in terms of, I guess, cultivating that strength and the sense of empowerment, to perhaps create boundaries or to really inject energy into something that you're choosing could be helpful there for that. Okay, so looking at your animal spirit guides in that way. What else did we have? Yes, we had here with the calling. It's interesting that, or the judgment, we have here an image, cats again, but there's also butterflies. So another beautiful, this idea of metamorphosis, like of changing, of coming into a new form, a higher frequency version of yourself, Pisces. But also this idea of music. She's playing a pipe and there are musical notes there, and obviously sort of moving along a particular way. So perhaps movement and music is going to be helpful for you, Pisces, as well. And, yeah. In terms of you, I think you're definitely trying to make a choice here with regard to something that is your soul purpose, or your soul calling. This could be what you are trying to work out at this time. And because there are many options open to you, like you probably feel as though your soul could go in many different directions, okay? And the interesting thing is that we can hold lots of things simultaneously, but I think for you, Pisces, you're really trying to work out where you're wanting to put your, in which direction you're going to put perhaps, 70% of your effort. Maybe you put 30% into something else, or, you work out the numbers, crunch the numbers, right? Yeah. So let's look at the bottoms of the decks now. We do have here the Ten of Wands. Yeah, there's something that is or has been sapping your energy here, Ten of Wands. And I have a feeling it's to do with that King of Cups energy. It's not that that's bad. It's that it might mean that you need to create more balance or more energy. In other words, to fill your cup a bit more metaphorically by doing something that's uplifting for you, that makes you feel alive. Okay, something creative, intuitive, spiritual, whatever it is that you enjoy. Okay, it might even be something physical, like maybe you're going to be, dancing or going outside for nature walks or something like that. Five of Wands again. Yeah, so this is really about, perhaps even questioning yourself. Is there something or someone that you are competing with? Do you feel under the pump to do certain things? And it's difficult to know where that pressure is coming from. Maybe you're going to be sort of looking at that. And also looking at this idea of learning something, bouncing off of others as well. The Five of Wands is sometimes called, this idea of conflict. So maybe if there is an inner conflict that you are feeling, maybe you're feeling a bit conflicted about, which of these cups to choose or not choose. Okay. But it will all even out. You've got the Six of Pentacles here. I think really it's sort of saying, if you're feeling conflicted about something, just choose something that's going to boost your energy. Okay. That whatever you put in, it's going to give you back. Okay. That could be one criteria you want to look at. Page of Cups. So definitely a creative energy. Also inner child, which we did mention. That could be one of those cups there that you're looking at, your inner child energy. Okay, could help you make a decision as to what you're going to choose. And here we have the World. And it's interesting that there are two people here in this World card, which I'm harking back now to the Two of Cups, which is this idea of coming into this idea of your everyday self here, Pisces, and your higher self or your soul energy. What is it that your true soul essence? Okay, because I think many of us have been conditioned to believe that we need to hold space for others primarily, and that we, depending on your upbringing, take what resonates. Many of us have been conditioned to kind of put ourselves on the back burner or ignore our emotions, ignore our true thing, whatever it is that we love to do. Like some of us have had that, okay? But this is sort of saying, no, these tables are going to be turned now, Pisces, because you need to integrate the thing that you love that brings you energy, joy, contentment, and that fills your cup emotionally and energetically and psychically, okay? Rather than feeling drained and as though, I was going to use the word, as though you've been used chewed up and spat out and there's nothing left. Okay, that's not what we're looking for. We want to be doing something that is, well, ideally, you know, a bit of both. But it was a bit dramatic when I said chewed up and spat out. I get that. But, you know, it's just if we've been conditioned to give our all and to not give to self, then we need to start giving to self, okay, which is what this reading is sort of saying. Knight of Pentacles, again, in your reading. So slow and steady backing your soul, okay? The slow, steady backing of your own soul energy here. Pisces, you have the strength to do this. You are learning all the time. You're very aware. I think probably the main challenge for you could be that, you know, you're really wanting to move forward and develop yourself here. But it's like there's all these options, okay? And I do feel for you. And because here you are, you know, you've got 4 of these cups. You know, maybe 3 of these haven't worked out in the past. And now there's one here on offer. And, you know, maybe that is the one. But maybe it's a case of, you know, just keep trying things, Pisces, until something clicks, okay? Keep going until something clicks. Because it's going to feel like a soul boost for you, okay? So, yeah, and it's going to be really great. You've got the 9 cups and 9 of Pentacles here. There's going to be a lot of nice feeling, nice contentment, a lot of, you know, warm, fuzzy, soft energy coming in for you. And, yeah, just getting more involved in something that you really love to do would be a great thing, I think. So there we have it. I think we might wrap it up there, and I hope that's been helpful. Look forward to your next reading. In the meantime, have a great day, a fantastic week, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.